How to Be a 3% Man by Coach Corey Wayne is a book that literally every man needs to read, especially 20-something-year-old men, if they want to learn how to master the art of dating and relationships. This book literally gives you the blueprint to winning the heart of the girl of your dreams, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my top 5 takeaways that I learned while reading the book How to Be a 3% Man, and I'll be sharing a few personal stories from my own dating life that I've never shared before to really give you the inside look on why what Coach Corey Wayne teaches in this book is some of the best dating advice you'll ever learn, and how you can apply these same takeaways into your own life so you can finally have the dating life that you deserve.
But you ain't living like that. The Porsche costs 100, this is twice that. Flooded on my diamonds, falling spring. Back in Oakland, I'm a king, I know I only is a ting.
Hey, what's up? My name is Brian Moncada. I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur. About 9 months ago, I started taking my dating life more seriously. And the reason why was because I was working a 9-to-5 job while building a business on the side with any free moment that I had. My phone just went off, but I'm gonna keep going anyways. And I didn't really want to spend my weekends going out, getting drunk, and tons of time and energy just to potentially meet someone. I wanted to find a way to meet a girl where I could still focus on my priorities and building my business. And this led me down a rabbit hole where I stumbled across the book How to Be a 3% Man. And after a while, I started seeing a girl that I was really attracted to. I mean, this girl was literally perfect on paper for me, and she pretty much met almost all my ideal qualities that I was looking for in a girl. And this led me to make a ton of mistakes that most guys make when it comes to dating and relationships. And I really wanted to make this video because I don't want anyone to experience the mistakes that I made and the things that come from that, right? By really messing up a relationship or a potential relationship with the girl that you really like. So that's why I'm making this video in the first place. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. And that's exactly why we're gonna start off this video with the very first lesson being the 9 mistakes that most men make in their dating lives. The first mistake that most men make is they put girls on a pedestal.
You are putting the up on this pedestal. You just building up, man.
What are you even talking about? Building up? What does that mean?
Especially girls that they really like. And the reason why most guys do this is because, hey, look, you really like this girl, placing her on this celebrity superstar status and as if she's above you or better than you in some way because you really like her and you really want her to like you.
Psyching yourself into thinking it's some impossible feat.
The third mistake that most men make pretty much goes hand in hand with mistake number 2, and that's you're chasing and pursuing too much. And when you're chasing and pursuing too much, you're almost guaranteeing yourself to get rejected. Because think about it, have you ever had a girl that just keeps constantly calling you or texting you, seeing what you're doing, seeing what you're up to, asking you to hang out? It kind of gets weird, right? It kind of gets a little bit crazy. You kind of start thinking, whoa, do I really even want to see this girl? She's like almost too attached to me and we've only went on 1 date. But most guys make this mistake, especially with a girl that they really like. So chasing and pursuing too much will actually get you more rejection than it will attraction. The fourth mistake that most men make is that they're not centered. They're not comfortable with who they are. They're not fully themselves and present and happy with who they are. So they are weak and they're needy. And being weak and needy is a total turnoff, which causes you to pursue too much, to chase too much, to reach out and see what they're doing too much, and that causes you, as we learned in mistake number 3, to get rejected. So you have to be centered. You have to be comfortable with who you are. You have to be happy with who you are first before you start pursuing women. Otherwise, you'll come off as needy and just like any other guy that chases a beautiful woman where they're texting them too much, and you don't want to make this mistake. The fifth mistake that most men make, you're always doing what she wants to do. Let's say that she wants to go to dinner at a certain spot, but you really want to go to dinner at this other spot, and you just want to please her because you're holding her on this pedestal and you really want her to like you. Where do you think you're going to probably go to dinner if you really want her to like you? Chances are you're going to agree with her and go to the place that she wants to go get dinner, when in reality, you hate that place. Why would you go to that place? That food sucks. But you still do it anyways because you want to please her. The sixth mistake that most men make is you're looking at the girl you really like in some goddess or dream form that's different than all the other girls in your life. This goes along with putting her on a pedestal. You're almost playing her in your head to be some fictional character that's not really real. And because she's not really real, you're over trying. You're not being yourself. You're saying things because you think she'll laugh at it. You're saying things because you'll think she'll like you more. When in reality, being a centered man, a grounded man, a fit professional man is someone who is so comfortable with who you are as a person right now that you don't need anyone or anything outside of who you are to feel happy. The seventh mistake that most guys make is that you're treating women differently. Because the girls you don't like, tell me why they always seem to like you. But the girl you really want doesn't seem to ever like you, or she always friend zones you. Why is that? It's probably because you're treating this girl a lot different than the girl you're treating over here. When you treat them equally and you don't hold one on a pedestal and the other one down here, you now have leveled the playing field where you treat all women the same. And all women should be treated how you want to be treated. You want to be someone who adds value to their life, to make them smile, to get them laughing, and to just be someone who's fun, who's energetic, who's uplifting. You don't want to treat this girl that you really like so much different because she's so perfect, when in reality the girl that's over here likes you the most because you're treating her like you don't really care that much. Isn't that funny how that works? The girl you don't even really want really wants you because you don't care, but the girl you really like doesn't want you because you actually want her and you really care. It's just crazy how it works, but that's just how it works. The eighth mistake that most guys make is that they're too quick to commit. Being too quick to commit is something that is a huge turnoff to most women. And it's probably because you're only dating one girl at a time. And that's a huge mistake as well. That's just a bonus mistake I just added in this one. Which leads me to mistake number 9. It actually wasn't a bonus mistake, it's actually number 9 in this book. It's putting all your focus on one woman. You're so committed to just one girl that you lose focus on the abundance of girls there are in this world. Just recently, I was seeing one of the most beautiful girls that I've ever dated in my entire life. And to be honest, on paper, she met pretty much every single quality that I'm looking for. And because of that, and because of how easy our relationship or our dating life was at the very beginning, it was just so fun. It was so effortless. We just vibed on every single level. And the more I started liking her, the more needy I became. Because I realized I started liking this girl a lot. And I realized I started liking her a lot, so I held her on this pedestal. And because I held her on this pedestal, I tried to make her like me, rather than just be myself. And because I tried making her like me, I ended up doing things that I normally wouldn't have done. I ended up trying too hard. I ended up being too available whenever she texted me. I, didn't focus on my purpose first. I was focusing on doing things with her. And it ultimately led to the next months of depression a little bit, to be honest, because she just was so perfect on paper that it ended up biting me in the ass because I screwed it up. I made all these mistakes on this list. And it sucked, man. And that's exactly why I'm here sharing these 9 mistakes with you. I don't want you to go through that. I don't want you to ruin a life I don't want you to ruin a potential relationship that could be something great with a girl you really like, with a girl that you're really attracted to, with a girl that you really want, because you don't know these 9 mistakes. The second takeaway that I learned from reading the book How to Be a 3% Man is to ask yourself, what does your dream girl look like? Let me ask you a question. Do you know what kind of relationship you actually want? Do you want a long-term serious relationship? Are you looking for a girl to have fun with, to hook up with, and to simply see where things go, but you're not really that committed on anything too serious? Or are you looking for just strictly physical and that's it? What are you looking for? And more importantly, who is the type of girl that you're looking for? Because when you know what exactly you're looking for, it'll be easier for the universe to work in your favor and start attracting these girls into your life. The way I met the last girl I was talking to was super similar. I literally wrote down everything I was looking for in a girl. 5'2" to 5'6" in height, brown, hazelish color, green eyes, long, beautiful brown hair. She can dance, speaks Spanish. And the next step here is to choose the top 10 qualities that you can't live without. And also choose the top top 10 qualities that you will not tolerate. Because now that you have a list of exactly what you're looking for example, one of those qualities is a jewel, or smoking nicotine, or smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke a jewel, I don't smoke nicotine, so why would I put up with a girl that smokes nicotine, that smokes cigarettes, and that smokes jewels? I don't, because it's not what I'm looking for in my ideal girl. So if a girl whips out a jewel on our date, I immediately know that's a big red flag, and I probably am not going to take this relationship much farther than it is, because if she's someone who smokes a jewel and smokes cigarettes, how funny is that? Then I'm probably not gonna go continue to see her just because it doesn't align with my values. The third takeaway lines up perfectly, because the third takeaway from the book How to Be a 3% Man is to learn the 3 rules of dating. Rule number 1 is that the phone is for dates. The phone is for setting up dates.
Always be closing. Always be closing.
Don't spend your time talking too much, because you'll end up giving too much away, and then there's nothing for you guys to talk about later on in the week. Why should she see you if she knows everything that happened to you within the last week, because you just told her over the phone everything that happened to you? There's no mystery. You show her your cards, so she doesn't really have that interest as much as she did when you were being mysterious and you didn't talk to her. Rule number 2, if she calls you, cool. Talk for 5 minutes, and then tell her you have to run, but you definitely want to see her again. Then ask her, when are you free to get together? Rule number 3, after a date is over, don't call her, don't text her for at least 5 days after the date. And if she texts you or calls you before the 5-day mark, then make definite plans to set up another date later that week. Don't spend too much time texting back and forth. Text a few times and then say, hey, I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? The goal for you should be to go on 1 date per week at the very beginning. That way you're not coming off as being needy or desperate. And if for whatever reason she's telling you, I don't really know, my schedule's kind of busy, or I have to study for this test, or I don't really know, things are kind of crazy right now, and she's not giving you a definite day that works for her so you can see her, then chances are her interest level is lower than you're expecting. Doesn't give you another option of a day that works for her, then hey, use the 5-day rule again. Don't call her, don't text her until 5 days later. If she doesn't do it again, that's how you know, chances are you probably move on to a girl who's actually going to be, interested in you enough to give you a definite date. Does that make sense? The fourth takeaway is that women are like cats and men dogs. Now I'm going to use this metaphor really quickly to really drive this point home. So imagine a cat, right? You see a cat at your friend's house. It's kind of walking around the walls, right? Kind of looking at you like all suspiciously, like, oh, who's this person? I've never seen this guy before. But it stays on the perimeter of the house. It never comes up close to you. It's unsure about you. It's not too sure if you're someone that's trustworthy, reliable, or someone that they can see themselves snuggling up with, right? What happens when you chase a cat? When you chase a cat that's not sure about you and kind of on the perimeter, you chase that cat away. It starts screaming and running away, right? A dog typically usually runs up to you, always wants to play with you and loves you no matter what. Men are more like dogs. Men can be attached to a girl very, very easily, even after the first date, because we start visualizing a future with this girl in our head. Women aren't like that. Women are like cats. They're unsure. And the more you start chasing them, the more they start running away. A woman loves a guy who's a mystery. Think about how many guys are texting the girl that you like right now. The same girl that you're so attracted to is probably being blown up by tons of guys right now because she didn't text back. And imagine you being the cool, calm, relaxed guy who's so easygoing, so carefree, so in his own that he doesn't care whether or not this girl's in his life. He's too busy focused on his dreams, where he's going, the man he's becoming, that if she stays, cool. If she doesn't, no biggie. I know where I'm going. You know where you're going. You don't need her. It would be cool to have her, but you don't need her. And last but not least, the fifth and final takeaway is the formula for success. Corey Wayne talks about being a challenge, being indifferent, being mysterious, being someone who comes from a place of abundance, not being needy, not chasing, being someone who is so confident with who you are internally that you don't need any woman in your life. Sure, you want the woman that you're actually attracted to, but you don't need her. And you want to be mysterious to where she's doing 80% of the talking on these dates and you're only doing about 20%. Don't chase her, don't over text her, don't over call her. Wait 5 days to set up the next date and then make definite plans to see her later on that week. You are the prize And you should feel so comfortable with who you are, my man, that you do not need any girl to make you feel happy, because you are so happy with who you are already. You're on your purpose, you know where you're going, you know what your life's gonna be like, and any girl would be lucky enough to be invited by you to join you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to press subscribe. And before you go, there's a video right here that you're probably gonna wanna check out. I really do like this one. Or there's this one that you can also watch right over here. You'll like both. Maybe start here and then go to this one. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.